on a little watch party thing going on with the episode. So I had missed the first 15 minutes and I had to remember today, like, oh, go back and watch that. So, we didn't know at the time, but of course they was kind of starting with the ending in the beginning and then going back and showing us from 36 hours before. And I don't think we got to talk about the episode last week, if I'm not mistaken. Last week, Margaret, I want to throw her in the trash. At this point, I want Margaret to either say she quitting or she gonna go sit her behind down somewhere with Zeke. But this episode, she didn't irritate me as much as she did in that one. And then I was like, trying to figure out what the heck was gonna be up with his brother. But as far as this part, I was like, oh God, so what's happening? They found Lacey already, and I was just trying to put it together.
Absolutely. That's how I was. I was like, oh my goodness. And then this right here just took me to another. I said, oh
Oh
Lord, Lacey.
yes.
I was like, Lord have mercy. What done happened to my girl Lacey? What is we doing? What is happening here? Yeah, they just had me on edge the entire time. I won't even lie. But also, speaking of the brother that you just mentioned, let's go ahead and kind of talk about this scene right here. Um, you know, kind of break it down, what's going on, what's happening, and what your thoughts were.
Yeah, I'm glad they showed us this because I think a lot of people, including me, was trying to figure out, was the brother good, was the brother bad, because at first I was like, okay, he could be a good guy, but then I'm like, we both grew up in the same home around the same people, and even when we brung up their mother before, it was kind of like now we finding out that it may not have just been the fire and the accident, and we like, well, either one of them could have took him out. So I felt like we kind of got answers to all of that in this, because pieces of me did feel like he was good in the first episode, but then another piece was like, well, was he going on camera on purpose because we shouldn't have been out there where Sir could see us? Then they would have actually ended up getting to Lacey in time. So I didn't know if it was some foolery going on, but he seemed just as shocked. He seemed a little shook, but like, trying to play it off at the same time and tell Sir that enough is enough. Okay, you've been out here terrorizing this damn girl, leave her alone. And also saying that he knows is a good part of him, like he knows is more to him than just being psychotic or whatever, right? And he insinuated that not only did he save him from the fire, but that he did try to save his mother from the fire, so he didn't know anything about that. And it seemed genuine, and it seemed like he was kind of scared that Sir might be trying to blow up his daggone car.
Exactly, talking about what's going to happen if I push this button again.
Right.
I felt the same way you felt. I was like, oh, okay, so the brother may not have, because I ain't gonna lie, his brother looked just as he looked like he one of them people. I ain't gonna lie to you. When I was looking at him, I was like, I don't know about him. They look like they could be in cahoots.
Right.
So that was good to find out. Now the brother is going to come back and he's going to want to help, but then of course this is when they kind of interrogate him because they want to know what does he know. And when they dropped the bomb on him that the mom was actually stabbed and not just died, that didn't just get unalived in the fire, he freaks out and is out of there and done. And we don't even see the brother no more. Gone. Finito. I was like, what?
Yeah, I said, damn. I mean, think about if you thought all this time that your mom's thing was just, unalive and was just an accident, and you thinking, you just finished telling your brother, like, I know it's a good side of you. I know you was trying to help. And then they tell you, like, nope, you wrong. Okay, she was stabbed up before the damn fire. That is a lot to take in, not to mention just knowing the things that he been out here doing in these streets.
Yeah, that is true though. That is very true. But Candy said her she's still on his neck though. She ain't ready to let it go. So, I guess we shall see. Cause you never know. You never know. Okay.
Yeah, I don't put it past, but unless they show us something else, because I know Gabby was like, just let him go in terms of when he got upset and left, and see if he come back. Now they ain't show us anything else. It won't put it. It won't be too surprising because they did grow up in the same house, but at the same time, sometimes you can have people be night and day. So
Yeah, that is very true. That is very true. Now, the story in this one was an interesting story. Talk about the backstory, the case that they're actually gonna be working on.
Yeah, I didn't know where we was really going with this story at first because apparently mama's in love and we feel like he's probably just conning her. At first we thought that she left on her own, but then Gabby sees this picture and she immediately is recognizing like, no, this is actually two people that really care about each other. This is real. And she also feels like Sir would be interested in this, that he would be able to relate to it. And I mean, she was right. She knows Sir up, down, left, right.
That part. That is so crazy to me. Like, but if you spend that much time with somebody, because I figured the same way that he was fixated on her, if he's missing, she would have to be fixated on him just as much because you never know when he's going to pop back up. So why wouldn't you be just as fixated? You know what I mean? Like, how could you really go on and live life knowing that this man is out here obsessed with you and can pop
Yeah,
up
and
at any
another
time?
thing about damn Sir, I'm sorry, he really is like the damn boogeyman because how do he be popping up places and nobody know, nobody hear him? Like, do he have some hidden doors around the city? What is happening here? It
Okay.
just be too much. He be
That
quiet as a
part.
church mouse.
Just pop-ups, pop up. Next thing you know, you like, what? Wait, what is going on, sir? But yeah, so the son, it was looking kind of shaky at first because I was like, is he? Especially at first, when we first met the guy, I was like, oh, okay, maybe it is real. But then we started finding out all these little things, and I was like, oh man, he is a con. And then I thought maybe the son had something to do with it. It was crazy when it was all said and done, what it all really
Yeah,
boiled
I
down to.
was kind of leaning towards the sun, but then I felt like they was making that one kind of too obvious, too on the nose, and you know how we gotta have our twists and turns. Like, yeah, he do seem like he a little greedy and probably a spoiled brat, and also probably really did think like, okay, my mom is old and this guy's taking advantage of her. Ain't no way she really having a real love with a daggone. This was like love at the lockup. So.
Okay, that part.
Mhm.
So I love the fact that young Gabby seems to be thrive. To be honest, younger Gabby seemed to be thriving. Now we don't know what it was like when she was alone, or if she was just putting on a face for her sister, for Lacey, because this is how she, you know what I'm saying. But when she came back, she seemed to be doing better. But we also know that she was in therapy too, which was probably helping her out a lot too. But it's just every time we see her in her younger self after the fact, we see her bubbly trying to help Lacey. But Lacey is terrified because we know why Lacey terrified because every night this man is either, I'm not gonna say every night, but I'm just what it feel like. But this man is coming to her window, coming in her room, peeking through her window, like she's scared. It's crazy. But I wonder why he's not doing
That's
that to
what was,
Gabby.
yeah, that's what I'm not understanding. Gabby has, oh, I understand the link that he originally got Lacey. At least that's the way I look at it, to kind of be her companion, be her friend. And that didn't work out the way he thought it was, but it doesn't seem like the way they show it to us, and even what he's saying out his daggone mouth when he with Lacey, like he ever really gave a damn about her. It's always been about Gabby. So I get you following her to get close to Gabby or be able to keep an eye on Gabby, but the fact that he literally was still around here terrorizing her, and even with her not speaking, I get not speaking, but you, it's still nonverbal cues that I feel like you should be able to pick up on. Even when it's somebody that speak a different language, you still can have an idea of things that they saying. And the fact that her mother just seemed like she in a whole nother damn world and she ain't picking up on these cues, I was just like, I'm trying to have understanding for mama, but I was getting annoyed with her at the same time too. Like, even us having this party and the little cousin finding the blade under the bed or whatever. Obviously, she feel like she need that there for protection. What are you talking about? Oh, when I come back with you, I'm still gonna deal with you, little girl. And I even thought Gabby would have said something at that point. I'm just like, what the hell is going on here?
Okay.
Mm.
I mean, because I honestly, I really think that they think Sir done ran off it somewhere and not coming back up because he on the run. And I'm like, nah, obsession do not work like that. Like, we got to see that something is
Like,
different
he
with Lacey.
haven't been caught. We don't have a body. Like, I need some clarifications, honey, before I could get settled down like that.
That part. That's why I said Gabby seems so much. She seems more well adjusted than what I would think she would be. That's why I think it
Yeah,
maybe in the front because she's just trying to, do
be
this for
strong.
Lacey.
Yeah,
But
I
I
could
don't know.
see that.
I don't know. I really don't. But Lacey is going through it. And every time I think about this, I'm like, sir, you is horrible. Cause this
He
little girl is
is like,
terrified.
he literally creeping in, just like leaving notes and filling out the page. I'm like, what the hell, standing there? Because at first I was thinking it was just in her imagination. Like, you go through something like that, you probably would still be seeing him standing every which way. But like, no, he literally confirms it, and he really is just creeping all around. And I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like maybe Mama wasn't in a situation. I think Candy was saying this last night where she could just pick up and move. I could get that, but at least have some type of like things that's put up all around the house after something like that happened. I couldn't. I wouldn't be able to rest like that. We would have had to have some cameras, some new freaking alarm system, something extra had to be going on.
Exactly, that part. No, absolutely 100% agree. So
Mm-mm.
we get back to the story. When that lawyer came in, I ain't even gonna lie. I said, "What is going on with this lawyer? He really can't stand this dude." I mean, he was really going off on oh boy, but you could tell that it was from a place of concern. But when he left him, he was like, "Fine, talk to him." And I said, "Dang, did he just quit?" He said he done with you, bruh. Because the son is just doing too much. But that's that entitlement, arrogance type of thing that's coming through. At the same time, I guess in theory he ain't really do nothing, but sometimes I don't know, people be doing the most. Any
Yeah, that's how it came up to me too, just entitlement. And he even was saying like, "Oh, he get it from his mama." Both of them is hard headed because I had tried, to get her to not sign over whatever money to the guy, and she wasn't listening. And this one don't listen either. But the lawyer also came off a little weird to me. But I was just like, okay, like it was so random how he came in and was like, "No, my client can't say nothing else." I'm like, "Well, why wouldn't you want him to help answer about his mother being missing?" But at the same time, 5 minutes later, you like, all right, go ahead, ask him whatever you want to ask him. I'm out of here.
mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, that was crazy to me. But I do also at the same time, I'm like, Mama, why is we leaving this man all our money? Like, what is we doing? I know you in love, but you
Yeah, I wouldn't have
what
been
is we
giving him all
doing?
my damn money. Mm-mm.
What are we doing here? Like, come on now. Like, I know your son he's very, very entitled. We can see that, but at the same time, this still your child. At the end of the day, leave that man something. I don't care if you leave him a little bit of something, but don't give that man all your money. Like, come on, what's going on? I was so thrown off by that. I said a lot of things, but I was thrown off by that. Trent, let's talk a little bit about how everybody is still acting because we still have a lot of animosity for Gabby going on. And I am not with the Gabby hate when it comes to these people. I'm just and Gabby actually says it in this particular episode when they're having a conversation. Um when we get to that conversation, we'll talk about what she actually says. And it's what I've been saying all along. I feel like anybody who's looking at the show can see that Gabby had a moment, and I really can't blame her at this point. But Trent don't halfway want to do the case. I didn't have that picture, but he didn't want to halfway do the case because he said he don't want nothing to do with her. Like, and then she tell him that it's gonna draw out Sir. So now people are thinking that she's more crazy because she's so connected. But her connection to him, to me, is going to help them find him. You know what I'm saying? That connection to him is going to lead y'all to where y'all need to go, especially in a situation where Lacey is missing and we know that she's not, what's the word I'm looking for? She ain't his target. Like
Yeah.
she can be discarded at any time, but right now he's using her to get to his target. So I don't get it. I don't know. Trent breaking my nerves. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, he was working my nerves too, but out of everybody, I actually expect this from him. I can kind of understand it to a certain point, but he was also giving me just like a baby vibes because he was like, "Oh well, if it's about Lacey or this case, then I'll work with you. But anything else, I'm not talking to you." I'm like, "Boo hoo hoo, Trent."
Okay, and proceeded to want to talk at some point. I'm like, I thought
Hmm.
you didn't want to talk. Like that's what I would have said. The petty and me would have gave out. Okie dokie. But just like she predicted, sir, he interested. He don't know if he wanna step out and talk about it just yet, but at some point he just can't. He like he have to step in, and he actually calls her from Lacey phone, and boom, takes the bait. But Gabby just, she couldn't really handle it at the time. She got a lot on her, and she just kind of messed up and said the wrong thing and didn't quite read the room right as it related to him and got him upset. And then he hung up. And so she kind of lost her, her momentum. What did you think about when she went out there and did that press conference, girl? Remember when she went to do the
At
press
first,
conference?
I thought something really was going on with her because they like, "Oh, you so overworked with what's going on with Lacey," and she like, "Yeah, I am, but this is not about that right now. We trying to get this lady home," and she's stuttering and talking about, "I'm sorry," and then passing out, and then like, I mean, regardless of what, that's realistic because even when you pissed off with somebody and you say you don't want to be bothered, you see how fast Trent ran over there to her when he
Hmm.
thought it was real. And then
It
he's like,
was
"Oh,
so
you could
fun.
have told me about it."
I'm like, nah, I needed to be real. I ain't gonna lie. At first, I was like, oh, Gabby finna play like she about to fall out. I said, she about to play like she about to fall out. And then when she didn't immediately fall out, I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'm wrong. And then boom, she did. I said, that dang on Gabby. I said, but that was a smart play. You gotta make him feel like something is wrong. Like he really is
Hmm.
is sick, but he really do care about her in his sick mind. So that was gonna get his attention. You know,
Yeah, he is sure did. He was like, "Gabby, Gabby, Gabrielle, Gabrielle." I'm like, "Oh, shut up, sir."
that was so funny to me. We got these fellas that are working the case. Gabby had to send Don with them because Don ain't trying to leave Gabby. Don is the only one who really truly is still like right by her side and really trying to understand. I feel like to a certain extent Zeke is turning the corner, but we're not all the way there with him just yet. But I do feel like there are moments that we see where he is trying to kind of let his guard down a little bit. But Margaret is playing hardball. And to me, Tamika, you can tell me how you feel, but for me, to me, Margaret should be the one that has the most sensitive towards it because I feel like if she ever found out who took her child, we don't know what the hell she gonna do. We don't know what reaction she gonna have. Is she like you can't tell me you don't want to unalive the person that has took your child. Like you gotta be a saint to not want to do that at all. Like if you it gotta have crossed your
Exactly.
mind.
That's what was frustrating me with Margaret. Like I get it. I'm not saying that they not supposed to have their feelings about feeling like this secret has been kept. Like their lives could have been in jeopardy. The cases that they worked on could be in jeopardy. We don't know where Lacey is. It's so many different factors that definitely is gonna have tensions high and frustrations going on. But for you to like, for example, in the last episode, and even just when we started and they first found out, but the last episode when she was like, "You broke me. I can't do the things that I'm doing because of you." I'm like, really? Like now we going a little too damn far. And if you feel like it really is to that degree, because nobody could tell you how to feel, then be like, "I can't do this right now," and just step away from it completely, or either, like I said, go sit and see how you can help out with Zeke there, and that's it. Stay away from Gabby. But I'm not gonna have you every 5 minutes. You want to know stuff, but at the same time, you want to complain and you want to curse me out and you want to say you can't do the job. Then what do I need you here for? That's how I was feeling about her. And she was on her neck last episode.
Okay, absolutely. Doing the absolute most. I was like, come on now, Margaret, now you need to pipe down for real, because we going too far. And Gabby just accepts it and she just takes it because she knows that she messed up. And to me, if you can read so well, like if you can read a person so well, you have this superpower, then you have to know that there is nothing that you could say that is going to make her feel any worse than what she already feels, because what she feels is a lot of guilt, a lot of pain behind this. And she knows that she snapped. She knows that she did something wrong and she acknowledges that and she's willing to accept it and pay for it and do all of the above. So to me, you taking these shots at her, why? Like, why do we continue to do it? Like, you want to act like you're like you would do something different or like you're better in some, like, you know what I'm saying, like it's the morality of it. And I feel like if we ever got her in the same room with her son's kidnapper, somebody might have to hold her off, for real, for real. Talk about this conversation that they had in the car. Trent don't want to talk to Gabby, but instead he moves on to ask her a question anyway. And I thought this conversation was, I thought it was a needed conversation, and I liked the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, we just sitting here waiting for this guy to come out, and I think that it was making him mad, more angrier at the fact that she seemed like she was able to have a little bit of understanding with, the prisoner that I forgot her name. Was it Betty?
Betty.
Oh, I should remember that name. That's my mama name. That that she had fallen in love with this guy, and it was like, how the hell can you love somebody that's a prisoner that's done these things? And her being able to have a little bit of compassion because she like, you got to think about the space that he was in with his daughter being unalived. He just snapped, and she can relate to that because even though it was not an exact situation, she snapped in her situation with knowing that her dad was, worried about her for all these years and all of that. And of course, it's just not something that Trent could understand. But he is saying to her, like, why didn't you come and tell me at the end of the day? He could have been locked up. He could have been paying for what he did the same way this guy is now paying for what he did. So, that was a little, it was a needed moment. I don't know if he can understand still where she coming from, though. I think she understands what he's saying to a certain degree, but that's just not the space she was in.
Like she said, she snapped. And you could tell, I mean, like, that's the only thing that makes sense is that she literally snapped. And that happens. I mean, that happens. Just like with the man that the case that they're working on, that man's daughter, they took something from him. And so, of course, yeah, he snapped. Sometimes people do things like they got a whole doggone TV show called Snapped, and if you look at some of that stuff, you like, dang, people really can in the moment lose themselves and just do stuff that they wouldn't normally typically do, and then when they come back to their right mind, I know it's overwhelming. I can't even imagine the type of what you have to feel once that actually happens. That's crazy to me, but uh, Candy Love said, Margaret said, finish your sentence. Yeah, that mess was funny. I did laugh at that part. I was like, no, ma'am. I said, no, ma'am, Margaret. Don't tell her to finish her sentence. You doing the absolute most right now. But we get another flashback, which is the one where we were kind of talking about how Sir keeps creeping into this room. I mean, you really is in here like doing the crossword puzzles and or whatever these word scrambles or whatever it is, word finds. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. Like you really in here doing this. Like, and then she wake up and she see him. Like she probably had a bedwetting problem and all types of stuff because I would have been tinkling on myself every single time.
Right. I wouldn't blame her if she did. That's
Okay.
crazy.
Absolutely
Mm.
crazy. So, I think this is when Sir he kind of losing it too. Like I don't know where his
Mm-hmm.
mindset was either, but he's kind of losing it as well. You got old girl still just laying over there on the floor. When he told her in a later scene that he tried to make her comfortable, I said she on the floor. It's a whole sofa
Exactly.
cushion on the floor. What are you talking about, sir? But
Mm-mm.
doing the most, but she could tell that something was off with him. He was so sporadic. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if you've watched this, then you can definitely tell that he was in a weird place. And I'm like, what is going on with him? What is happening?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. But he does help her figure out some things like he always do with the case. But that's just the thing. Like criminals be knowing. Like they know stuff. They know other
Mm-mm.
crazy sometimes. especially at this level of crazy. But talk about who it really was and why they did it, girl.
Yeah, she picked up on Sir, and what he was, that it was something off with him. She knew what he was gonna say before he said it, which you could see the look on Trent's face because he literally repeated verbatim what she had just finished saying. And then she was like, no, that's actually not it, but this is what happened with Romeo and Juliet. And she was able to basically correlate it and say, oh, it's not the damn son, it's the freaking lawyer. Okay. And on top of that, I think his wife was some type of therapist. He done got her in on it. They said both of y'all arrested. I kind of felt bad for her a little bit because she was like, oh, he told me I was helping him. I said, girl, you should have told your husband, get the hell out of here
Okay,
with
that
that
part.
craziness. So, they got old Betty out of there. She was like, I'm so happy y'all got here. And now I could go be with my boo and my son gonna come meet him. I
Girl,
was
that was
like,
crazy.
okay, girl. Like, he really thought that holding her hostage was gonna prevent her from, I guess, giving the prisoner money, like, or still being able to be with him. I don't know what the hell he
Mhm.
thought.
And
Mm-mm.
it was crazy because he really wasn't trying to kidnap her in the sense of hurt her. He was trying to
Mm-hmm.
kidnap her to protect her assets.
Right.
Um, I've never seen now that was a weird one right there. I was like, dang, now y'all finna get locked up for actually trying to help. You should have just let her went ahead and lived her best life and whatever happened, happened, but I get it. You were trying to be a friend, but this was the wrong way to go about this. Sorry, sir. Not the right way to do this. But we are gonna find out what did Sir do? They got the books. Trent got the books. I couldn't remember. Trent went and got all the books because they chased down a lead, right? And found out they put the credit card together, found out that Sir had went and bought these books. Trent went and bought all of the same books and brought them back. And they spent all this time trying to figure it out. Gabby come up in there and see the books and knew exactly what it was, knew exactly what the message was, and that's the thing. That's what baffles me. I'm like, Margaret, how do you think you're going to figure this out? Like, you not gonna figure this out without Gabby. Like just if you really want to get Lacey back, let's just work as a team. Let's work as a team.
Yeah, it
And
seems like they get madder or more frustrated at how much she knows him and she could pick up on things. But at the same time, Margaret did start getting her little skills back, and it seemed like they was only working when Gabby wasn't around. And Dawn was like, that makes sense because you get so much, hostility happening with y'all two right now, the friction. But she was like initially, able to be like, oh, look over there at the fireplace or whatever, and then put somewhat the numbers together on the card. And then Gabby was able to say, okay, this is the stuff that Sir would normally go, get, and let's trace these. And then I think initially she was like, no, he only be into the grooming, but then she thought about the books. And once we was able to get the books, she's able to go from there. So it was like a group effort, to a certain point. But of course, Gabby is the one that has the most info, and it seems like every time she's saying the things that she's picking up from it, you see Margaret huffing and puffing or making a face. It's like, girl, listen, she spent mad years with this dear man, so yes, she has picked up things about him. She's able to observe him, and right now, that's what we should want and what we need if we want to get Lacey back. Like,
exactly. And that's the part that she just seems to keep forgetting. But we saw that there was a point where so we're gonna see a point where I don't know why Gabby, I couldn't think of her name. I'm looking right at her and couldn't think of her name, where Gabby is going to kind of put everything together and she's going to send them, to do this and do that. I can't remember exactly where she sent them, but
yeah,
she goes,
she told Margaret and Dawn to go by the schools or parks or something because she was already saying that more than likely Lacey time is limited, like he's looking for a new person. And I was thinking like how he had time. I ain't been out that damn long, but he already done found somebody else he want to snatch up and looking at schools. But we was having them look at that. And then she said she was gonna call Trent, but she literally went like this as if she was gonna call him, then put her hand right back down. So I was like, she's sending them on a wild goose chase. She ain't about to call nobody. I'm like, Gabby, what you up to? Oh Lord, I knew it was some fugazi mess.
that's what I said too. I said, oh yeah. I said, "Oh yeah, you up to something, but I don't know exactly what it is." But that's when we're gonna see that she's actually gonna go to him. He sent her a message, and she went exactly there. She knew exactly what the calling card was, and I was like, "Okay, Gabby." And then she finds Lacey. Kind of talk about this moment and what ends up happening.
Yeah, she was mad about her knowing about his shaving cream. She was getting mad about everything, but yeah, I mean, I'm not shocked that Gabby was able to really find out what the real message was, and I know she feels like she was protecting them because, of course, she left the letter and all that before she left. But at the same time, I'm like, Gabby, I don't know. I felt like kind of two ways about it. I was like, well, is this a place that they've been at before for her to know exactly where to come to with the message? And then I get maybe you wanting a head start and you wanting to make sure you could get Lacey out, safely. But I still feel like when you was leaving that message, it should have been something telling them the right place to go, not some, oh, I'm sorry, and if I don't make it, like we ain't got time for you to be talking about if you don't make it. We want this damn man and we want Lacey. Damn it, Gabby. Oh, child, I tell you, they be running my blood pressure. But of
Yeah,
course, that's not the way she did it. And that's not
yeah.
the way she thinking about it. She thinking she protecting them. She want to protect Lacey. She want to try to do this, with at least casualties as she possibly can. And the fact that this man is standing here telling her, oh, last time you came unwillingly, you say that I took you. Like, no, you did take me. What the hell are we talking about here? So this time I want you to come willingly. I already knew she was going to be like, yes. I'm like, this man is so sick, but he playing the hell out this role.
Yes, he is. I love it. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Every time I look at it, I'm like, dang, I am not supposed to like you. And I don't like the character in the sense of like, but I love how great he does it. Like, I'm like, in awe sometimes. I'm like, dang,
Yes.
he is playing the heck out of this so well. Like, and he still does have this charismatic thing to him. It's just we just happen to know all the backstory. Honestly, if we didn't really know the backstory, this could be somebody that really would make you like him. Like he has the charm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And but that's how those type of people are. But girl, when Lacey got up, because who had the knife? How she where the knife come from? Was the knife in Gabby bag when she
That's
dropped
the
that
part
man
I
down?
was confused of, and I tried to go back like two different times to watch it because it was interesting to me that one of the times we see her open her eyes and she's looking over in the corner, but I didn't see anything there when she looked. We then went to that flashback with the little boy, her cousin or whoever it was, finding the blade underneath her bed. So I'm like, did she already get one? Because then it was one point when he left her there and he was mad, I think, about Gabby passing out. Or I'm like, when Gabby came, did she have it tucked in the books? And once she dropped the bag and, the books well or whatever, it was in there. I'm not clear on that part, but either way, she be having that damn knife ready, baby. I was like,
Okay.
keep stabbing him. But my girl ain't having no strength left in her.
Mm-mm. And
Mm-mm-mm.
Gabby told her don't do it. And that is I didn't I wasn't mad at Gabby for telling her not to do it because it was about the mental that was going to the guilt that was going to be on her and would she be able to handle that guilt? I mean, to me, Lacey is already fragile and you can't help after we see her backstory, she can't I get it. Like the fact that she was able to go to law school and to do all of these things that I mean, you have
Yeah.
to say kudos to her because girl, girl,
Yeah.
girl, girl.
Yeah, Gabby could have brung it in the bag and was hoping that once she would have told him, yes, I'm leaving with you or whatever, then she probably could have got him somewhere and maybe did it herself. Maybe that's what she was thinking. I don't know. But Lacey beat her to it, baby. She was in there trying to take him out.
Okay, she was ready to go. So, but the crazy part about it is that she done stabbed him and everything. And Gabrielle calls 911 and he still get away. He done walked
Yes,
himself
like
up
this
out of there.
man, I'm telling you, he Michael Myers Jr. He creep up on you when you ain't looking, standing over you in your damn bed, and he always get up. That body never gonna stay there on the ground.
Okay, I was like, okay, just okay. So now he done got away. They get here, and then this is when we get, because we saw the beginning at the end, and this is when it all kind of comes together. And at the very, very end, we see the mom is sitting in the bed with her daughter. We got Dawn there. We got Margaret there looking crazy. Margaret was still doing too much for me. It was the faces for me. Like every time I see her face, I'm just like,
Yes, this look. I don't know. I get it though. We all want Lacey to be back home safe. Like we all going through it. You're not the only one. That's the part that just kind of irritates me. Is like I do understand it, but then it irritates me with that part. But I ain't think Lacey was gonna go because we had to make it dramatic. Like, oh, is she gonna make it, Officer Trent? How's she doing? And we wanna, not know whether Lacey's gonna be here with us or not. And Zeke was all going off throwing stuff at the TV. I'm like, your boo gonna be okay, Zeke. Don't worry.
okay, like sit down, Zeke. You can't even go see her. That's what I said. That's literally what I said. You can't even go see her. So don't just sit there. Okay, and that's not to downplay Zeke's agoraphobia, but it's the truth. He can't go see her. He literally
Mm-hmm.
can't. So it is what it is. Chill out. But at the end there, we see where Gabby is holding her hand and she actually squeezes Gabby's hand
Mm-hmm.
right at the end. So we know our girl Lacey is going to be okay, but this is definitely going to be interesting to see kind of where they're going to go from here. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen a little bit. Like, if you watch it on Peacock, you don't get to see the next episodes. If you watch it on the actual NBC, they actually show you, how
Yeah.
like what happens on the next episode or whatnot. So I saw a little bitty clips of it. But yeah, Lacey's gonna be fine. But I
Yeah,
don't
it
know.
looked
This
like she's still gonna be wanting to take damn Sir out, and Sir's still gonna be going around here being a damn menace. That's what's happening. But I don't know where we go from here because Dawn was even saying like once we get Lacey back, that's gonna be a big part of what's causing the turmoil between us. Like we can actually be able to move past this and be able to come together a little bit better. I don't know he necessarily right about that. Maybe eventually, but I don't think it's just gonna be like right after. And then we did have Trent telling Gabby as well. The countdown is still on. You don't got that much of your 72 hours left. Okay.
ugh, he was on
hmm
my nerves. But I think Gabby wants to atone. You know what I'm saying? But
yes,
at the same
yes, I
time,
agree.
she's the only one that's gonna be able to catch him. He can't
hmm
lock her up. If he wants to catch him, he can't lock her up. If he locks her up, he might be gone. Like I really feel like Sir would come after him. Lock her up, and bro, you might not make it either because this joker just be
Yeah, I
popping
think
up.
Sir already want him anyway, because even when they was having the conversation, him and his brother, and he mentioned that the cop was the one that got in touch with him. Oh yeah, he think he's something, and he think he know Gabby. He already have an animosity with Trent's concern. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the next one he roll up on, and then he might be successful. I don't know. Y'all think Trent gonna make it, or y'all think Trent gonna get hurt? Put it in the comments. Let me know.
Okay,
We
that
might
part.
see a little tussle with them too.
I think I think he's definitely gonna go after Trent and Don because she's so close to Don. Um, but because it's crazy because he wants to get rid of the people that she's really close to, but at the same time he doesn't want to hurt her, which always baffles me because he knows that getting rid of them is going to hurt her. So it's like, sir, what are we doing? What are we doing? But I'm excited to see how this is going to play out, where we're even going to go from here. Like, if we don't find Sir, then what? Like, I know we're going to continue to do the cases, but this side story, I mean, honestly, I feel like this is at the height of, remember Criminal Minds? I feel like Found gives me at the height of Criminal Minds when Criminal Minds had these amazing
Oh
side
yeah,
stories.
Criminal Minds was my show.
Had these amazing side stories going on while they're in the middle of like the other cases and stuff. But you had all of these side stories, these main side stories that were going on with the characters, and I feel like that's kind of where we are here. And they were able to kind of like drag that out for a while with just different things. I feel like in this case we got one main common denominator. Yeah, yeah, he kept calling him heavy boots. We got that
Yes,
one main
thank you,
common denominator.
Candy.
We got the one main common denominator, which is him. But I still feel like we could drag this out. I mean, we probably
Hmm.
are just going to get close to catching him, but then we never.
Yeah,
But then we're not going to catch him.
yeah,
So
I definitely feel that way, and I'm wondering if the brother is gonna pop back up, being as though we was like, oh, let him leave. You can't hold him against his will. Let it sink in for a minute. Are we gonna see him again, or is that just gonna be the end of it? I'm curious, and will we find out that there's some dirty stuff about him, or will he even be trying to hunt down Sir since now he finding out that he took out the mother? He might try to hunt him down himself. Who knows, child?
anytime my sir solves the cases, what are they going to do? He does help
He
solve the
can
cases.
solve them from behind bars like Hannibal Lecter used to do, okay? And
That
even
part.
Hannibal Lecter used to get free.
That is true too. So yeah, I mean, but I guess we're gonna see where this goes. On the trailer, they do show Margaret. Like it looks like she's somewhere. She's kind of breaking down again. So I'm interested in seeing exactly what that's all about, and will we get closer to her finding out where her son is, and will
That's what
Sir
I
start
want to
to?
know too. Like, I don't know. Margaret needs something else to do. And see
Okay,
how she reacts to that. That would be interesting.
I think that we're going to see Sir inserting himself into their lives, like just
Mm-hmm.
to mess with them. And that includes Margaret and, this sensitive subject of her son, because he might
Mm-hmm.
even be able to find him,
Right. That would
you
be
know?
crazy. Mm-hmm.
And I think we're going to find out that he didn't make it. But I think Sir is going to be the person who actually finds out. I don't know if that's going to all happen now, but I think that's where we're headed to eventually. So, but anyway, y'all, we are about to get up out of here. That was what's up with Found. Found, if you're not watching Found, guys, please check it out. It is on Peacock. It comes on Friday on Peacock and on NBC. You can catch it on Thursdays. So definitely give it a try. If you want to watch the entire season, you can go watch the entire season on Peacock for season one. And because we're in season two right now, but it is such a good, good, good watch. Shout out to everybody in the chat who came through. Candy Love was in the building. Lemon Kush Pepper came through. Queen came through. KIM was in the building. Barbara Johnson came through. We appreciate everybody who didn't say anything but was here. We know that this is a new show. So, people got to kind of get used to it and all that stuff, get used to us talking about it. But yeah, so we are actually about to talk about Reasonable Doubt. So if you're watching Reasonable Doubt, then make sure to go ahead and follow us on over to the Reasonable Doubt Live so we can talk about all the shenanigans that went down over there. And we will talk to you guys later. Peace.